So this house seems like there's really nothing here that's worth anything. However, I'm going to tell you, the high dollar ticket items are still here.
Look at this car. Whew. So Talon gave me this house this morning, and we're coming here, and I'm basically doing a site visit. I don't know anything about it. I'm just curious. It looks like a decent house. I'm wondering if there's anything inside that we can repurpose. So he sends me here. Basically what he's got me doing is I'm checking to see if the electric's been disconnected yet. A lot of times the FPL, they don't communicate very well. We ran across the neighbor. He actually owns the house, and we were talking to him a little bit. So let's go check it out. All right, so the owner said he'd leave the door open for us. So here we are. Okay. Look at this car. Whew. What you're going to see behind here, if you look out through this window, is that is a Gulf access canal. And right now the tide is way down, so you can't really see the water. So this house has flooded over and over and over. And I know that without even talking to the owner, because I own property right down the river from here. So Hurricane Ian flooded this, and this would have been flooded probably up to here, okay? So the guy that lived here was a contractor, and he put it back together. So he would have got flooded again, probably with Helene, for sure with Milton. I don't know how much he would have got with Milton, but he would have got some. So what happens with these are ground level houses, and you get sick and tired of it. So what ended up happening is the neighbor bought it, and they're going to extend their yard and make themselves some additional room. What you see in here is they basically prepared it to get it ready to put it back on, to put it back together. So they opened up all these walls in here, and what I'm looking for is, what are the goodies? What's left that we could take, that we could potentially resell? The one thing that I noticed when we came in was the carport. The other thing was this door right here. Not very old, very good condition, so we'll take that door out. We'll take out this electrical panel, okay? These doors right here, these are not very old, they're very high quality. We'll take them out. That's a steel door too. That's a hurricane rated door. I take that back. That may not be a hurricane rated door. It just feels like a regular door. It doesn't need to be hurricane rated being inside. That garage door, that's another thing. If we come back here and take a good look at it. Now, the thing about this garage door is we won't mess with it. And here's why. One is it's dented here. Two is it doesn't have the hurricane supports. Okay, so it's not hurricane rated. It's in good shape. Could it be resold? Yes. Most people who are going to put something like this in down here, they're just going to try and buy something used that has hurricane rating. The other thing is this hot water heater here. Looks like a perfectly good hot water heater, but if you look down here, it's had water up inside of it, and you just don't want to mess with it. They're not that expensive. You can see this is copper, so we're going to end up being able to pull the copper out of here. I'm not sure that this house is going to have a tremendous amount of copper. If you notice right here, you see these lines. This is PEX lines, so that's not something that that's got any value. So the rest of it's PVC. Again, we'll take this in. That's an exterior door. It's just been mounted on the interior. Now, this set here, the owner said that they're not completely done with getting whatever they're going to get out of here. So they may come back and get some more of this stuff. So this door would be a good find for us. Something like that would ask $2,500 or $3,500 for that. This front door, same thing. We would take this out. So you're walking into a house and you're going, oh my God, they took everything. But you know, they really didn't, because these things like this are worth some money. So something like that, get $150 to $200 for it. These windows, I'm taking a good look at these windows, and the windows, they're nice windows, but they're 20 years old. Okay. Okay, so they're nice windows. They probably are not hurricane rated. I'm pretty sure they're not hurricane rated. You can see here that they're not hurricane rated. So we're not gonna mess with these. So these windows, this style of door lock or window lock, it's the same style that some of them have been using for like 20 years. The same thing with these clips, okay? Now I didn't really pay attention to the clips. These are plastic. Normally they were aluminum. So what I didn't notice, and I didn't take the time to do, is I didn't notice this. And this right here, if you get real close to that, if you look at that, that sticker is a sticker that they put on hurricane rated windows. Okay, so what they are is an older style. They're really not older. So you've got a series of storm surges that happened here in Florida. You had Hurricane Ian hit, then Hurricane Idalia right after that, and then Debbie, then Helene, and then Milton. Milton and Hurricane Ian would have both got this far up the river. So this is very close to the downtown area of Bonita Springs. We are literally 2 miles from the Gulf of Mexico. And the water's coming up this river. It's called the Imperial River. And that right there is a Gulf access canal. The guy keeps his boat back there. Now, back in here, are there any more goodies in here that I can see? I would say no. Depending on how busy we are, we're a little slow this time of the year. So the guys will probably go ahead and take the time to pull all of this Romex out. So this Romex, you know, as long as you don't spend too much time doing it because your labor will overshadow what it's actually worth, as long as we can get it out fairly quickly, it's good. So on this one, we've got the copper plumbing, the doors, 3 doors. We've got the back slider, the carport, and we got the HVAC system. How much of it we'll actually end up with. A lot of times people have got this idea that they're gonna come and get stuff and they just can't get to it. Or they decide they don't wanna mess with it. It's a lot of work. Plus you gotta work during the day and then you still have to come and do a full-time job taking this stuff apart. It's not easy. So this is what the windows look like after they've been taken out. What happened in this house is these windows were put in not too long ago. This whole house was renovated not too long ago, right after Hurricane Ian. There's actually a contractor that lives in this house. He ended up selling the house to the next door neighbor. And it sounds to me like this guy just wants some additional parking. So this is an example of us taking out windows. This one was fitting a little tighter. Some of these came out pretty easily. You pulled the screws out and cut the caulk and they came right out. So, and that's not very common. Now this particular window, it's not coming out easy, so they're having to work at it. So what you seen the guy doing outside, he had a multi-tool, and what he was doing is he was cutting all of the caulking out. Now what Jamal's doing right here is sometimes these screws come out real easy and sometimes they don't. And if they don't come out real easy, so what we do is we just bust the block open. With the tools that we have and how powerful they are and how much time it can take you to try to get a screw out of a window, it's much easier just to bust around it real quick and pull it out. So this was a 20-minute, this probably took a half hour to get that out. Now that window, I can get between $350 and $650 for it. It just depends. So here, this is the carport, and these carports are put together in these are little aluminum panels. By the way, those 2 lower lines there, those are phone lines. We could just tore the house down with this. That tin is not worth a lot of money, aluminum wise. If you got a mobile home, or you want to put a carport off the side of your house and you want to buy one and not spend a lot of money, this is what you do. So you can see the house here, you see all the windows out of it. This is the first bite, so right through the garage door. We frequently start going through the garages. It's just a good place to start. And then what you do is you fold the house in. into the envelope. And the reason you do that is you don't want to create a huge mess. You don't want to create a bigger mess than you have to. Because guess what? Messes have to be cleaned up. So all that stuff that he's munching up right there, that's called, we call it construction debris. So it's C&D if you're talking about the industry, at least here in Southwest Florida, they call it C&D. And it's funny that that excavator is just not working at all on a house like this. It's just such an easy task for it. So everything he's doing there is just meant to pull the roof and the soffit and everything back into the envelope of the house to contain it so that he can trap it while he's picking it up and putting it into these dumpsters and the dump trailers. The dumpsters, the dumpster truck is what they used on this one. Our 65-yard dump truck is hard to get into a spot like this, and it was so tall that it was going to be breaking some limbs off of the trees, so we ended up just using this 40-yard dumpster. So the C&D yard's not too terribly far away. So while the truck's gone, he's mulching this stuff up, munching it up, making it smaller so more of it will fit in these dumpsters without the voids. That's one of 2 roll-off trucks that we have. We have a bunch of dumpsters. So it's this is right off the Imperial River in Bonita Springs. So if you noticed, sitting on the track there is a sprinkler going off, and we're calming all the dust down before we get started again and loading again. So here is fast forward a little bit, and we're pulling up the concrete now. Notice that we're able to use our semi here, and this is a rock hauler. Look at what happens here. He tries to pull that rebar free, and instead of it breaking, it flips the concrete over and breaks the front window, lower window on the excavator, which that's a $500 mistake. So stuff happens all the time. We don't like to see it, but it does happen all the time. So this is pretty much most all the concrete is up. So what's going to happen next is they're going to bring in a skid steer, and they'll clean this whole thing up. And that shed right there, the owner sold it to someone. They still have yet to come pick it up. This is us backing up the street. So that's basically it, man. This is what they look like when we're done. So this one was a pretty good one as far as finds and valuables.
All right, well, we got this one torn down. Not a lot of goodies, not a lot of special, pretty little furniture kind of goodies, but we did get a lot of goodies in the sense that we got a bunch of doors, we got a bunch of windows, we did get the slider, we got some scrap metal, we got some aluminum, or not some aluminum, some copper, and actually I'm pretty happy with it. The carport came apart real good, and all that stuff's at the shop. It's up for sale. Kind of a bummer that we end up having to buy about a $500 window. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but when Colton picked up one of those pieces of concrete, the rebar had a piece swing around and hit the excavator and knock a window out, which is terribly exciting being the owner. So basically that's it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.